Good morning and welcome to St. Paul's United Church of Christ and my pastor's Pondering for this week. If you can see, I'm holding a mask in front of me. This one is from the United Church of Christ. This one happens to say the word love on it. I have another one that says be a blessing and another one that simply says peace. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about choices and the choices we make. And of course, there's lots of controversy over the fact that maybe we should or maybe we shouldn't be wearing masks. Currently in Wisconsin, it's still a choice. So I'm not sure which way you may be leaning, but I do want to talk to you about all the choices we make. Now, I was going to put this on, but it's a little hard to talk to you and have me doing this with you, wearing a mask. But know that I do wear it otherwise. I wear it when I'm out in public. I certainly wear it when I'm in the hospital. I need to be wearing it there, of course. And I wear it when I go out shopping or any of the things that I'm doing. But for today, I'm going to set it aside. But here in church, on a Sunday morning, we encourage you to wear a mask. You don't have to do it. Again, it's your choice. Well, just by chance, I guess, my lesson today is from Deuteronomy. It is Deuteronomy 20, and I'm going to start with verse 15 through 20, and it's about the choices that we make. See, I have set before you today life and prosperity, death and adversity. If you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, that I'm commanding you today, by loving the Lord your God, walking in his ways, and observing his commandments, decrees, and ordinances. Then you shall live and become numerous, and the Lord your God will bless you in the land that you are entering to possess. But if your heart turns away, and you do not hear, but are led astray to bow down to other gods and serve them, I declare to you today that you shall perish. You shall not live long in the land that you are crossing the Jordan to enter and possess. I call heaven and earth to witness against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Choose life, so that you and your descendants may live, loving the Lord your God, obeying them, and holding fast to them. For that means life to you, and length of days, so that you may live in the land the Lord swore to give you and to your ancestors, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. This ends my lesson today from the Old Testament, from the book of Deuteronomy. So today, I really do want to talk to you about the choices that we make. It seems to me that every morning when we wake up, we are making choices. The ability to make concise and accurate decisions and choices is one of the greatest secrets to successful living. God has paid us the ultimate compliment, for God allows us to call our own game plan. God allows us to make our own choices and our own decisions. God allows us the ability to choose. In the Garden of Eden, God gave Abraham, or Adam, and Eve everything they needed to sustain their life. But in the middle of that garden, God planted a tree of knowledge of good and evil. The moment that God did that, God provided them with an opportunity to make a choice. They could heed God's instructions and live forever in this paradise, or they could eat of the forbidden fruit and die. What an absurd choice, we might think. Who would ever choose death over life? Yet people make that choice all the time. Clearly, I could stand to lose a few pounds or two. I love chocolate chip cookies. Well, I love Kit Kats, I love Butterfingers, and Snickers too. But I really love chocolate chip cookies. So every time I see one, I have to make a choice, right? I can choose to eat that chocolate chip cookie, or I can choose to really do what I know is the right thing, watch my weight, put that cookie down, or just walk away entirely. But you know what? I'm probably going to eat that cookie anyway, even though I know that I really shouldn't. It was 50 years ago when the following notice first appeared on a pack of cigarettes. Warning, the Surgeon General has determined that cigarette smoking can be hazardous to your health. There is not a person who's hearing me at this moment who is not aware of the dangers of eating too much or not exercising enough or smoking or alcohol or drug abuse. Yet there are people within the sound of my voice that are struggling with these exact same things every single minute. Part of us are saying, well, you know, I'm going to take the risk. Nothing will happen to me. Unfortunately, it is not only ourselves whom we sometimes hurt when we misuse our freedoms of choice. There are people who treasure their marriages, but they are morally weak. They wouldn't hurt their spouse for anything in the world, yet they're playing with fire, choosing perhaps the death of a very precious marriage relationship. There are lots more examples I could give here. Some of us face a choice every day with a variety of unhealthy habits. Who in the world would choose death over life? Millions of people do it every day. That brings me back to this mask. We are told over and over again that this simple mask, the simple act of wearing one, can make a difference in this COVID-19 epidemic. But still, sometimes we simply choose not to wear one. And every time we do, we are risking our own lives. That was the rule 3,000 years ago, and it's same today. So it was with great urgency that Moses called the people of Israel together and issued this earnest plea. This day I call the heavens and the earth as witnesses against that you and I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life. One of the very keys to successful Christian living is the realization that God has given us freedom to choose our destinies. God has given us the ability to control our own lives. We can choose our own destiny. Every study of great leaders in the world have emphasized their decisiveness. They knew where they were going, they had a plan, and they knew how to get there. A cartoon in a newspaper recently said it very well. It shows a picture of a homeless person sitting on the sidewalk. Beside him is a large sign that reads like this: "Keeping my options open, thank you." It would be nice to go through life always with options open. But somewhere along the road, we simply need to make choices. Remember the old story about Briar Rabbit? Well, Briar Rabbit is invited to dinner on the same evening at the same hour at two different friends' homes. There he stands on the crossroads. Which way should he go? Which friend should he choose to have dinner with? First, he runs down the road one direction. Then he changes his mind and reverses himself and starts running toward the other direction. And then he changes his mind again. And it changes his mind again. With the thought of 2 meals awaiting him, he runs back and forth, unable to make a decision, until finally he misses dinner at both places. There are a lot of people who live their lives just like that. There is no firm destination for their lives, no vital commitment, no beckoning call. They wander aimlessly through their journey of life. God has given you the freedom to choose your destiny. But while we are free to make our own choices, we have to live with the consequences of those choices. If we abuse the freedom we have, we pay the price. If for some strange reason I decide that I want to go out in the street and play in the traffic, there's a pretty good chance that I'm going to get hit by a car. If for some strange reason I decide I'm going to jump out of an airplane with a parachute, which I'm not going to do anyway, by the way, and I do that and not open my parachute, what's going to happen? Be careful of those choices you make. God cannot make those choices for you. God cannot pick you out of the traffic. God cannot open your parachute. God cannot take that last drink from your hand. So be careful of those consequences. So many of the trials and tribulations of life are a result of our own bad decisions. If I choose to eat a whole block more of those great chocolate chip cookies that I love so much, and I put on some more weight, I know that that's not healthy for me. I could end up with heart disease, with diabetes, with numerous issues. As of this date yet, God has not ripped the chocolate chip cookie, however, out of my hand. There is a price to be paid by the decisions we make. God forgives our misdeed, but God does not suspend the laws of consequences. What we sow, we reap. We have freedom to choose, but with that freedom goes the responsibility to choose life and not death, to choose wisely. There is one choice, though, that surpasses all others in importance. And that, of course, is the choice to choose Jesus Christ and to make him part of your life. When Moses instructed the children of Israel to choose life, he was impressing upon them that they should obey the commandments of God. To obey the commandments was life in Moses' teachings. Of course, you and I have discovered something even more vital than those commandments. We have discovered Christ himself. I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life, says Jesus in John 14, verse 6. To choose Jesus is to choose life. Millions of people throughout the ages have made the discovery, and it is more important discovery than any one of us have ever made. choose Christ, choose life, and let Him help you make the appropriate and right choices. I hope for heaven's sakes that you will choose life. And with that, I am going to put my mask on. And invite you to be with me for just a moment of prayer. Wondrous God, every single morning when we wake up, we make choices that affect our lives and the lives of others. May we always choose, first of all, to have you be part of our life. But may we always choose to show love and respect and kindness to everyone we meet. This we pray today in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, blessings to you for the rest of the week. I'm going to encourage you to choose to wear a mask when you're out in public these days. Have a safe week and a blessed week. Bye for now.